Thank you, Faiz, for doing that. So now we can get started. Okay. Good morning, guys. Good evening, good afternoon, if you are in different time zone. We are a few minutes late. We were waiting for people to join in. Balaji, our friend, is ready and is very anxious to start with his talk. Thank you, Balaji, for doing this for us. This is very important. You went to an RST class, I think 3 weeks ago, and you want to sum up your learning from that class. And the week after, it was Teapot and I who attended an RST class from James and Michael. So we will try to pitch in wherever we can, but this session is generally yours. And others, please be on mute if you're not talking. If you want to talk, unmute yourself, bring up your camera, and present yourself. So that is how it is. Okay. So over to you, Balaji. Take it away.
Yes, thank you so much, Brijesh, for providing this opportunity to speak about this, and thanks to the test chat group, to Adibayo, Faiz, and Sachin for this. Yes, so I am here to share my experience about the rapid software testing class, which I took at the end of July, and on my learnings from that course. So here I go. A brief introduction about myself. I started my career at my final year in engineering. I was doing some freelance work freelance work during my final year in college, and after that I got a job at a startup called Systems Systems as an engineer, where I trained in MATLAB and a bit Python. And then I got job as a test engineer at Siemens Industry Software, Chennai. So this how I entered into the testing career. And before entering into my presentation, I would like to thank James Bach here, because of him only I came to know about this rapid software testing when I had a Skype chat with him. So a special thanks to James Bach. Really, he was my eye opener for software testing. Okay, so here comes what motivated me to take the RSTA class. Actually, there was some motivation for me to take up this class, like how far I have understand about my testing, how far I understood the testing concepts, and I thought to do a live project on testing, to get hands-on with testing software. And I would thought to explore many areas in testing, because I thought that I was really confined with that. So these are the factors that motivated me to take up the rapid software testing applied class. And how I used to test before taking up this RSTA class. Actually, I was really blunt when I entered as a test engineer in Siemens. I don't know about testing. I just started exploring by self, and I had no training also. And I was just doing some freestyle exploratory testing along with test case execution, like executing the test, and after that doing some free testing after the execution. And I've written some automation scripts using Python language for the software that I'm testing. And each time when I felt it's a defect, I ask developers if it's an expected behavior or not. Sometimes I felt this was awkward for me to ask like this. So, and even I hesitate to ask questions, because the most important factor for testing is me to ask more questions. So I was hesitated before taking up this RSTA class. I was really hesitated to ask questions. So because of that, I did only shallow testing. So that was another problem that I had before taking up this class. And even the knowledge that I have gained from ISTQB, I was not satisfied really with that, because my knowledge was just confined with that. And I thought whether I'm testing it correctly or not, and or whether I'm missing something like that. So ISTQP, I was never satisfied with that. Uh, and I think I just took this ISTQB training by self by reading the book called Fundamentals of Software Testing, and then I took this exam. But I felt that doing those MCQs will not make me a tester, so I thought to take up this class. Okay, how RSTA class helped me to get better in testing? Actually, assignments from RSTA class was really challenging. It made me to think a lot, ask questions, more questions, and made me to go back to the basics again to learn testing from the scratch. So this has happened. And review comments from bug reports. Really, that was really helpful for me to make my bug reports awesome. I can able to write bug reports efficiently, and I have seen many people in that rapid software testing class. I have observed their test notes and the bug reports written by them, and and also did conversations with them. I had conversations with Michael Bolton and one of the peer advisors called Rakesh. It was they were really awesome, and it was mind blowing for me to have conversations with such people, and learned how to focus in testing by working in a test session. I think this was really a different experience for me to work in a test session, saying for around 1 hour or 45 minutes. It was really great, and each and every webinar in that course was really useful, and I repeatedly was watching those videos still now to recollect the concepts and evaluate my testing work. So this how RSTA class is helping me right now, and because of RSTA class I was able to complete my proposal for exploratory testing in my office work, which I will be presenting it soon. And here is some of my work from that RSTA class. So I will play this. I will just go into full screen. These how the session reports have been written. I'll switch. I'll go directly to my session report to see how I have written and what are the comments I got from James. You can see that many people have commented in the session report, and each day we had sessions. So this is the first. What I will be showing is the first session for survey testing. Just please. Yes. So here is my session report. Sorry, here's my bug report. Actually, sorry for the mistake. Uh, so for my first bug, out of my, I have raised 4 bugs during that thing, and I have tested this in the uh, an Android mobile, and this is one of the bug that got rejected by James, and I got the comments also for that under it. So this is my second bug that also got rejected, and this has been found during the survey testing thing that I didn't explore a lot about this bug, and then found out that it was not a bug. And this is the bug that has been accepted by James, and you can see that how I have explained the bugs, starting from describing it in a short form, and then the steps to reproduce, uh, and then uh, I proceeded further, which has been accepted. And I had some comments before this bug. And then I have updated the title and steps. And this is Yes, this is another bug that I have raised, that help option was not available for that application that I was testing, and this bug also has been accepted by James. So I'm getting out of this. I don't know why it has been switched to bug report, as I was explaining the session report. Just I will go to session report. Sorry for the mistake in between. So here is my here are some of the session reports written and the comments given by James and other people.
Balaji, can you just explain one of them? Just pause at one of them and maybe explain what it
Yes,
is.
yes, just a minute, please. Yes, here is one of the session report that I have written for survey testing. Actually, I tested this Miro Drop application in an Android mobile. Actually, Miro Drop application is a file sharing tool. So that has been posted for testing. I need to do the survey testing by exploring it, by playing with it, but unfortunately I didn't do that. So I'll show the comments what James provided. Uh, Here is the comment. Actually, the thing is, like, I found my problem here. I was just limiting myself something here. So that's what James has mentioned here. And I was doing some systematic testing. So this was one of the problem that I found in my testing. So this comments really help me now after this class to do more exploratory testing in this way. And this is my first charter, and my second charter is with product coverage outline. But I took some time because I couldn't able to attend the class in real time. So I took some time to submit my assignments. Yes, here it is. Here I have created a product coverage outline for that application and in a mind map. I'll be showing that mind map too. So this is the comment provided by James. Actually, he has mentioned that this is just a task start, but I need to do a lot of work here like that. But here the thing is, like, I never tested a web application before, so I don't know about the APIs and other things. So I just need to explore this area, which is again a good learning. So I'll be showing the mind map that I did. Yes, here it is, the mind map that I did with all the possible things and how it has been interacted. So this is just a start from my side. Actually, I tried for a file sharing tool. So the comments are also really helpful. And my last charter, I mean the last session is respect to with test strategy uh, for testing with various possible images. Yes, here it is. I need to develop a test strategy to determine that if that file sharing tool handles different kinds of files that it can handle. Um so the comments provided by James, and here the notes that I have took, and the comments provided by James was I have just started this also, and 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 I need to dig in more like that. James has provided the comment for me. Here I have already mentioned about this to James also, that still I need to dig in with my chat learning about this testing web app and mobile app. But somehow I managed to test it with some different files and shuffling them, and then test it. So this is also again a learning. But one thing I observed from these sessions is that I'm I'm having a good start, but I couldn't make it as a good end. So I need to work in that area. So this what I have observed when analyze my session reports. So thanks to James for his uh, comments and review. So it was really great to have such comments and feedbacks. Okay. Um, and which areas that interested me a lot to during the sessions was heuristics test strategy model. Really, I was surprised about heuristics because I have used it indirectly. That I didn't realize before, but after going through that, and I found out I have used it before. And I realized that heuristics is the core concept for rapid software testing. So if we understood heuristics properly, then it would be easy for us to test. So heuristics test strategy model is the major part in rapid software testing, and also the consistency oracles I loved a lot. A few hiccups: acceptability, familiarity, explainability, world history, images, comparable products, claims, user expectations, products, purpose, and statutes. These are the terms has been mentioned as a few hiccups, which really helped me to identify the behavior while I was testing. And the most favorite part was the note taking. Really, I love to take a lot of notes, and I was really inspired by Michael Bolton's article on exploratory testers notebook. It was really awesome, and I have seen many diagrams and flowcharts in that notebook. It was really great. So this made me to take more notes apart from taking in any medium like notepad or in a notepad or Word document or a mind map or in a notebook. So I would suggest here that note taking is the most important skill along with questioning skills for testing. And finally, my overall opinion about this rapid software testing course, it's really worth to take it up because it's a hands-on experience, and you will be experimenting with different types of testing and heuristics. Uh, and it's really a place for passionate testers to learn and develop their portfolio of skills, because James is really helping people to showcase their skills and helping to solve their problems. So I would suggest this rapid software testing update course was really good, and not only these course, I can say that the entire rapid software testing courses will be really interesting. So I'm recommending the course. Really, it was interesting and it was really useful for serious testing. So that's it with my presentation. Any questions?
Well, Balaji, before I add my thoughts, because I've also done one of the rapid software testing courses, I
Hmm.
just want to ask you about something. Okay, so many times you showed examples of where James got back to you with a lot of comments.
Hmm.
Okay, so and there was a lot of work that you had to do, whether it
Yes.
was building your session reports or building up your bug reports or trying
Hmm.
to explore the applications in a better way. So
Hmm.
how did it come across to you as a tester? Because if somebody is coming time and again and saying, hey, you need to improve here, you need to improve there, you need to do this, what was your experience in dealing with that?
I used to collect those feedbacks and analyze myself whether I'm doing it correctly or not. And after that, if it's not right from my side, I will try to implement those. I'll try to implement those feedbacks that I'm getting. So that's how I'm learning. I'm learning continuously. So that's what I started approaching people for learning about testing.
You make a very good point, Balaji. Thank you so much. And I want to say this to everybody who's there on the call.
Mm,
A lot of times when we get a lot of feedback, we get
mm,
demoralized. We start thinking, oh my God, I'm not good. I'm getting so much feedback. Somebody is criticizing my work. Well,
mm,
look at it from a totally different perspective.
mm,
You are a student, you are trying to learn. The more
mm,
feedback you get, the more corrections that are made, the
mm.
more improved version of yourself you will be. Okay,
Yes.
I will tell you something about Balaji. Before, way before we started with TTC. I think in the month of April, Balaji had pinged me for the first time. He connected with me on LinkedIn and then he pinged me. And he was persistent in his effort to try and reach me. I was never able to coordinate with my time with him. Okay, he was chasing me on and on and on and on. And one fine day, I just, I was just going through my WhatsApp messages and I saw, maybe 3 or 4 messages from him. And I said, no, I think I need to talk to this guy. And, because he's seeking my help, I cannot sort of ignore him or whatever. I was not trying to ignore him, but it was just that, the timing was never syncing. A couple of times we agreed on a time. Either he was busy or I was busy, and we missed the appointment somehow. And then finally, we started talking, and I saw that okay, he is willing to learn, and that's the most important thing. You should always be willing to learn, and that's when we got started. We started talking in say I think in April, and then in June, the moment we started with TTC, he was one of the first members to join the group. He started learning. He kept on asking me what to do, and then I told him, why don't you try and explore the RST options? He took that, and he got in touch with James. He chased it. He followed it up. He enrolled himself into an RSTA class. He has uh, done well. Now we have to understand that Balaji does not come purely from a pure software background. What he is doing is he's working with a lot of hardware, he's working with a lot of firmware, so it is not just software that his skill is limited to. And I would like to emphasize it here that RST as a testing methodology uh, enables you to do more. It is not just restricting you uh, to software. You can test hardware. You can test almost everything with RST. So if you have the enthusiasm, if you have the willingness to learn, if you are open to be challenged and to be corrected, okay, that's very important. You will be challenged. Okay, you need to challenge James or Michael or whoever is taking the class, but you will constantly be challenged during the class. Okay, if you prepare a session report and show, or if you prepare a bug report and show, then questions will be asked of you. People will ask you, they will ask you why this, why not this. You will get ideas. Okay.
Yes.
And I think what we saw with Balaji was, he kept on saying that this was not right, this bug was rejected, this bug was rejected. A lot of us have this habit, and I must tell you all, it's a confession. Initially, when I began my career, I used to get discouraged when people used to, find faults in my work. I used to get discouraged initially, but then when I realized that it is all for my benefit, if I want to
Yes.
improve, I need that feedback. I need to be corrected. So even when I'm learning a new language,
Hmm.
I'm not talking about Java, Python, or anything like that. Any language, say for example, Hindi, English, Marathi, whatever. So right now I'm learning Dutch. I know that I'll make mistakes. Okay,
Yes.
mistakes are about to happen. People will correct me. So if I say something which is grammatically wrong, or I've just mispronounced a word, or whatever,
Hmm.
people will come and correct me, which is for my benefit. So that should be the intention always. And that is the mindset with which you should go to this class. So I
Yes.
think Balaji, you've done really well
Hmm.
for yourself in going to this class. It was in a difficult time zone, so you could not attend the session live, which is okay. But then what I heard from James about you was also really inspiring. He said that you were a very inspired tester, very motivated, and those were some really nice words. So I felt happy about it
Hmm.
because your name did come up during our RSTM class, which was a
Uh,
week after you attended the class. So and of course when James came to know that you were doing this session, I think he helped you with these slides as well, if I'm not
yes.
wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the kind of support you get.
Hmm.
One thing I want to share my experience. Okay, so I was in an RSTM class, which is the Rapid Software Testing Managed class for generally for managers. And
Hmm.
what Balaji attended was the Rapid Software Testing Applied class. So where you actually apply these techniques and do. So for us, it was at a level which was higher, which was like, okay, how do you encourage testers? How do you manage testing? Okay, so people will do testing in their own style. This RST, whatever class that you take up, you can customize it for yourself. There is no ruling saying that this is the standard fixed format you have to follow. People take a clue out of the RST class and make it their own. So James and Michael, continuously emphasize that you do not have to follow James Bach's book of or method of RST or Michael Bolton's method of RST. You can have your own method of RST. So as long as you are following the guidelines set by RST, because they are you know meant for you to be successful in whatever you do. And you customize it to make it your own, you are all good. The other important factor, now Balaji mentioned that he was able to get feedback from a lot of peers, a lot of people who were with him in the class. Okay, a lot of people who were, going through the session reports, going through the bug reports. Okay, and interacting with them, doing sessions with them, pairing up, trying to understand. That helps a lot. And in our class also, we had a lot of interaction. We had a lot of side chat that was going on. We were talking about what James and Michael were actually talking. We were talking alongside as well and expressing our views. So having peers, having connections, or talking to people that helps you always in improving the ways you think. So that and of course it helps you to network also. You get to meet a lot of new people. You can share your thoughts on testing, and the net result is continuous improvement. That is something that I will vouch for. I think it is a wonderful experience to go through these classes. These are not you know something which say, okay, now here's ABC and you need to do this, and this is the only way you can do it nowhere says that. Okay, you can adopt your own way. You can adopt your own style. It opens your mind up to so many things. It gives you so many ideas. It helps you improve as a tester. It helps you meet new people. It helps you build your confidence. And like I keep saying that every tester in their career span goes through 3 stages. First is self-confidence, second is self-awareness, and the third one is self-discovery. I think if you go to this class, you will automatically come to the self-awareness stage because it will help you build your self-confidence. It will make you more aware about things. It will make you aware that, okay, there are things that you know, there are things that you don't know. And once you start acknowledging the things, saying, okay, these are the things that I do not know and I need to learn, then you will find yourself in a happy spot. Because a lot of times what happens is, although we know somehow that there are these things, these certain things that we do not know, we do not sort of acknowledge them. We do not believe that, okay, it is going to help us or do any benefit. Or we are simply shy. We don't want to disclose it to others. For example, something to do with automation, maybe something to do with Java. Okay, if I do not know Java, I somehow I will not speak out because I will feel that, okay, somebody else might just humiliate me, or somebody else might just pass on a comment about me. It's no big deal. Okay, if you do not know Java, if you say that I do not know Java, I am interested in learning Java, you will get a lot of help. But if you keep it to yourself, if you do not disclose it to others, and if you do not acknowledge the fact that you do not know, then you are not going anywhere. Okay, you will be within yourself, you will be confined to those thoughts, and you will be worried. Okay, it is okay to go out and acknowledge your incompetencies, if I may use that word, because then you can seek help. Okay, if I go out and say that, okay, I'm trying to learn testing and I need to learn a little bit of coding, but I am I'm struggling with Java, can I get some help? That's the point at which you will get help. And there are lot of wonderful people, so that helps you a lot. Okay, as a tester, you can build your skills that way. I just gave you an example of Java. It doesn't mean that I am full on for automation. No, automation has its own pitfalls. We are not talking about it. Okay, we will talk about it some other day. Here we are focusing on the RST class and how it has helped Balaji. It has helped me too. I do not know if Teapot has joined the call. Otherwise, we could have had him also give his thoughts. No, I don't see him. Do you guys have any questions for Balaji or for me?
Hey, Bridges, Chandan here.
Yes, Chandan. Turn on your camera, please, if you can.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm using my mobile. I don't know. Am I audible? All right. So, no, Balaji mentioned about oracles. So, what exactly is oracle here?
Yes, oracles.
I'm sorry,
means,
I was.
Yeah. Oracles means finding. I mean, like it is like an expected behavior. What the thing it behaves when you are testing a software to identify the problem. If I am saying the oracles are a way to identify the problems in the software.
All right. And can you tell me something about heuristic? What exactly is heuristic?
Heuristics is a fallible way to solve a problem that it might help you sometimes it might not help sometimes, so it's just like a guide for us while testing the software.
So when you say heuristic test strategy model, is it like when you say heuristic, it's like the requirement gathering from the requirement, the requirement that we get for test?
No, it was not like that. It is like covering all the aspects, like quality criteria, what are all the products, product elements that we need to consider inside the software, testing techniques. and there are some other criteria like that. So heuristic strategy model it won't just confine with only requirements. There are other things to consider while we are testing it. So requirements is also a part of heuristics.
All right. So this is the word heuristic test strategy model. Is this coined by James Bach, or is it something standard in software industry?
Yeah, Balaji, is it okay if I take the presenters?
Yes, you can take it, Brajesh. Let's see how
Okay,
it can.
I will very quickly open up the HTSM and talk about it. Okay, just for the benefit of
Where
Chandan
I
and for
can where I
Thank you,
can
Rishi.
stop sharing it.
I will. So the same button which you clicked, start sharing. You click it again, and you should be good.
Okay. Yeah, I have did it.
Okay, just a moment. All right. I will start sharing now in a minute. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see. Brajesh.
Chandan, can you see the screen? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. The heuristic test strategy model indeed was coined by James Bach. Now, when he talks about heuristic test strategy model, let's understand what a test strategy is. A test strategy is a set of ideas that drive your test design. So when you talk about tests, okay, we are not talking about checks. Checks are like comparisons that you do with a set of requirements that are given, where you can mark either pass or fail. That's not something that we are talking about. We are talking about tests, which involves going beyond just passing or failing of of certain cases. So here, test strategy is obviously something that you have in your mind, or you put it on paper, which can drive your test design. So the heuristic test strategy model comprises of four basic areas, where you have to consider the project environment, you have to consider the quality criteria, you have to consider the test techniques, you have to also consider the product elements, and that will give you the testing and quality story that you want to talk about. So this will give you more ideas about how you are going to use your you're going to design your tests. So basically what happens is, when we are thinking of designing our tests, we have to consider, what are the product elements that we are looking at, which feature are we talking about, why are we talking about that feature, what are the various ways or the techniques that can be you based on that, you start thinking about what test technique can be applied. But that also depends on the project environment. I'm not talking about test environment, but here, so if you go down a little further, this document is of course available in public. If you just type heuristic test strategy model on Google, this shows up as the first result. Okay, so then here it defines all the things, where it says project environment represents a set of context factors that includes the resources, constraints, other elements in the project that may enable or stop your testing. So while designing our test cases, we have to consider those factors, okay, which will either catalyze our tests or may stop our testing. Quite often we do not look at this factor, and that creates a lot of problems. So you have to be aware of it. Then next comes the product elements. The product elements are aspects of the products that you consider uh, testing, including aspects intrinsic to the product and the relationship between the products and things outside of it. which means that if you are testing, say for example, the Telegram app, okay, so you will not just talk about Telegram app or the features of the Telegram app, you will also start talking about the ways in which the users can use the Telegram app. The Telegram app can be used for voice calling, it can be used for messaging, it can be used for broadcasting something. You can have your channel and you can broadcast stuff, you can have your group. Okay, and now soon they will be adding the video calling feature. I think they have already launched it. It's in beta. They are doing some kind of a canary release. It will hit every user in a few months' time. So these are the kind of things that you have to start thinking. So when you're talking about product, you're not just talking about the features. You're talking about the interactions that are possible with the product. Okay, then there are different quality criteria categories. Where you talk about maintainability, you talk about scalability, and so many other things. So there are a lot of them, but you have to remember that for every customer, not everything is important. So you have to understand the context. You have to understand what the customer is actually looking for. What are the elements of quality that he or she is more interested in? And once you do that, you will get ideas, more and more ideas about the test techniques that you can apply to derive your test cases. And then finally, the testing and quality story is the result of your testing. So when you arrive at your test, combining all of this, you will start testing, and then you can arrive at a final story. So you could see that Balaji he first created session reports where he spoke about every session he created. He was a part of multiple sessions. Each session has a charter, which is kind of a goal that, okay, this is what you actually want to test. And then you talk about what tests you have in your mind, and you start describing those tests. And then if there is a problem, you record it as a problem. Otherwise, you record it as the information that you've collected. And then from there, building. And once you are talking about a problem, or you see that as a bug, then you put it in a bug report and then describe it where you want. So that's how you build your story. I mean, you can do it differently. It is not necessary that you have to follow only this technique, but to describe your quality story, it is just a guideline that you have, and you can choose to make it your own. If you go further down this document, it talks about the various test techniques that you have. It talks about function testing, domain testing, stress, claims testing, user testing, risk testing, flow testing, scenario testing, and here you see automatic checking. Okay, so what we commonly know as test automation is classified as automated checking here. Of course, it is a different point of discussion, and we will take it up in one of our subsequent sessions in TTC call, where we talk about the difference between checking and testing, because it is very important. We are seeing more and more, people talking about automation. The jobs these days, the job descriptions, everybody talks about automation. We have to understand what they mean by automation and what actually automation is. Okay, so we will talk about that, because I think as testers, it is very important for us to realize that when we talk about automation, it is not just picking up some test cases which are written by so-called manual testers and then converting them into something that a machine can read and execute. I mean, that's a very narrow thought process, if I may say that. Okay, and then it goes on to describe each and every part that you saw on the picture above. So this model, it is available on the website. It is available on Google, and you can use it. You can have your own ways in which you can use it. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to James himself. He is more than happy to explain this to you. Okay, you can reach out to Michael. You can reach out to us as well, if it's in our capacity to answer your question, we will try to answer your question as well. But then the best person to reach out is James, of course. So yeah, that's
so
something.
Regis, I will have a follow-up question. I don't know if I would sound correct or not. How is it different from the, sorry?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, how is it different from the general, the day-to-day, the test strategy that we use, like in Agile? We even have brainstorming session, we even have test planning, we design test cases, we review all those things. I mean, I can see all those points that were mentioned in the file. I can say we are implementing them in our day-to-day activities. So I mean, can you bring out some, at least 2 or 3 points, which makes it different than the normal strategy we have?
So if you are doing all of this, then great. Okay. However, when we talk about test strategy, the first question people ask, at least in my experience, I have seen majority of the people, they ask, what template are we going to do? Are we going to use? Okay. The moment you talk about test strategy, people say what template? Okay. And that is something that that disappoints me a lot. People are talking about template and people are not talking about the strategy itself. So what HCSM does is it helps you to build your strategy. Now, the moment I say strategy, it is a product of all your thought processes, all your feelings, all your ideas. It is a combination of everything, right? It is your thoughts, your belief, your your notions, your ideas. Everything comes together and it formulates a strategy that, okay, this is how I'm going to approach my testing. This is the method that I'm going to apply, and this is how I'm going to carry my testing out. Now, you can document this in any form you want. Okay, there is no restriction on the template. You want to use a Word document, fill out section, no problem. No problem. Okay, nobody's saying that you don't do that. However, you can also use something like a simple mind map to describe. Okay, saying, okay, test strategy. Now, what are the elements of my test strategy? Okay, if I say now, first of all, I say, okay, how will I do my function testing, for example? So, what are the functionalities and how will I test those functionalities? I listed up. Then there was something called as claims testing. So, this product claims that it has a performance, or for example, if it says, like for example, we were talking about Telegram app, it says a group will consist of say 20,000 people. So does it really do 20,000? Am I supposed to assume 20,000 and leave it like that, or do I really want to test if it can hold up to 20,000 users? If I have 20,000 users, is there a slowdown in the performance of the application? What happens? Okay, what happens if I just have just try to broadcast too many messages? What happens if I try to look at it as a desktop app and simultaneously on the mobile app? Do my notifications pop up at the same time on both, or is there a delay, or one is faster than the other even if I am connected to the same network? Okay, what are my dependencies on the phone hardware? Are there anything? For example, if I want to use a phone without a camera, or can I still use it? Okay, because it will ask permission to access your camera and it will ask permission to access your photos and gallery and things like that. So can I use Telegram on a phone which does not have a camera or a gallery or something like that? Something from the prehistoric era, because nowadays almost every phone has that. So, it gives you ideas, and that is what you list down as a part of your test strategy. So it is important if you are doing all of this already, if you are doing a lot of brainstorming, if you're talking about it, if you're putting it out in the open that, okay, this is how we're going to test, this is what we have brainstormed, these are the risks that we have thought of. Then it's very vital, it's very important that you put it out in a way that is understood by everybody else. Okay, it is not restricted to any particular template. It is a good idea to sort of document in a standard way, maybe benefit for the organization. However, if you want to limit yourself to a particular template or you fill out sections, then it, in my opinion, it doesn't help. Okay, to be very honest, I'm not a fan of templates. Okay, people used to say IEEE 829 is a standard template of test documentation long ago. Then it changed to IEEE 29119 part 3, and people now insist. I do not see them helping anywhere, to be very honest. In my honest opinion, it does not help because Chandan, your camera
I'm
was
sorry, there was a call. Sorry.
the orientation just changed. Okay, in my opinion, what I have observed is that when you document it in a Word document or a PDF or something like that, the only person who reads it is the person who has authored it. Okay, nobody else reads it. Nobody cares.
True.
It is there in some repository, in some SharePoint library, somewhere. Okay, hidden, but nobody cares. When people are testing, do people ask, okay, where's the test plan I need to refer? Has anybody asked? I don't recall. At least in the 20 years of experience I have seen.
They do ask for test cases, but not.
Sorry.
I mean, they do ask for test cases, not plan. I've never heard
Yeah,
anyone asking for it.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, or even a test strategy. Does anybody come and say, hey, what was our strategy here again? Can we just revisit our strategy? Do we have such discussions? I mean, I'm yet to see one. Okay, to be very honest, I'm yet to see one. But when you have this particular thing, okay, if you create a mind map, if you have that mind map on everybody's softboard, there is a softboard at everybody's desk. If you just pin it up there, it remains in front of you and it makes you think. Then you can go and say, hey, you know what? I was just thinking about this feature. We could probably test it in a different way. So there is a revision in the test strategy. So you are talking about it indirectly. Okay, so that is how this particular thing adds value. My answer was a little too long for you, Chandan, but I hope I have made sense.
No, that helped actually. Give me a lot of insight.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, I have just 4 minutes remaining with me, so I have one request. Can